Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Hope your tanks are thriving, and yeah, hopefully they've been doing a little bit better than what mine's been doing at the moment, but we'll come on to that shortly. But first things first, hope you're all doing really good. Hope you're all doing well, and like I said before, hopefully everything's going right. But first things first, on this tank, we're going to take a look at the corals, as we usually do. Some things have gone pretty pear-shaped, and some others, yeah, some of us have gone disastrously wrong. But this is what it's all about in this hobby. Sometimes you get the good, but also I want to show you the bad side of it as well. You know, things that happen and stuff. But like I said, first things first, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the tank, look at the coral, and then we'll talk about the disasters, and we'll talk about the problems I've been having over the past few weeks. But as you can see, all the corals are doing really good. Like I said, I broke that off a few weeks ago, and it's already healed and it started to take shape. This Zoa little rock now is beginning to really take off now. Really happy with the way that's going and stuff. All the Zoas get growing up, and yeah, getting more and more by the day. This Raja Rampage has got more and more eyes every day. Really happy with the way that's colouring up, and it's growing pretty decent, to be fair now. Slow at first, but now it's, considering I got it, I think it was like 3 eyes, but now it's really taking shape. And as you can see, when you stand back, it's just colouring up so much. Gonna have problems with this maybe, you know, over time when it does start to grow out. It's gonna grow like a plate, so it's gonna shade that, so maybe I might have to move this, but we'll come to that stage when we need to. The bubble coral, as always, growing really good, and that just does its thing. We have this monstrosity of a carpet on the bottom, this Monty. We have these two Monties. Sorry, this, sorry, not Monty, sorry, Chalice, and this Chalice as well. Really, I mean, this one is really colouring up, really gold this is now. Then we have the Jingle Whale Sophastria that was on the floor, if you remember, but I'll come back to that in a minute. And then we just got the usual sun-kissed, this massive candy cane that's just growing by the day. We have the frog spawn and the hammer that's doing really good. We have the clove polyps, and everything, like I said guys, is just doing really good. Got this squashed up against the glass. I'll have to move this. This actually snapped just before I was filming. And then we have the clam, which is just massive, and as you can see, all this new white growth there, all the white tip there, it's all new growth. It's just gone over the last few weeks. And then we have the Chalice, that's doing really good as well. And everything, like I said guys, is doing great. And yeah, we have that piece of Montipora at the back, which is snapped off there, if you remember. And then we come on to the SPS and just look at the colour of that Pikachu. If you look back on the past few videos ago, I was saying about that I was having issues with the Pikachu, but now the colour of that, when I stand back, has just come back to life. And yeah, absolutely growing really good, really colouring up now, so hopefully that'll take off. Then we had this Acropora, which was snapped. That started to take off. And then we have the PC Rainbow, which is colouring up really nicely, which I'm going to come on to shortly. I think I might have to move that somewhere. But everything else, guys, like I said, is doing really good. And I'm really happy with the way the corals are growing. One thing I do want to mention, though, was our test. Like I say, I test my tank, to be fair, now more often than I did. And the alkalinity is rock stable. But when I tested the calcium had dropped to 360, which I'm a bit unsure about that. So I've raised the dosing now. I think I was dosing 33 mil of the Coral Essential stuff, and now I've moved it up to 50 mil. So we've done that over the last couple of days. Also the magnesium, which I always run usually high magnesium, around 410, 440. I've had it as high as 1500 in the past, and to be honest, the corals seem to have adapted better to that. When I tested it this week, it was coming in that my magnesium was 1360, which is the lowest I think I've ever gone, to be fair. I don't know, once again, why that is, but I've increased the dosing on that. I was only dosing, I think, 22 mil, I think, of that, of the Coral Essential stuff. So I've upped that to, I think it's 30 mil. I think it is 30 mil or 32 mil. I can't remember 100%, but it's definitely in the 30s. So I've upped that, and I'm just going to test that next week and see whether it's raised up. If not, then I'll just increase it, and we'll go from there, and we'll just keep monitoring it over the weeks and stuff like that. So yeah, just as long as I keep monitoring it, I should be okay, and then I'll dial that in, just like the magnesium. But now, guys, coming on to the bad stuff. First things first, the little lionfish that I had in my tank, I came down 4 days ago, it was, yeah, 4 days ago, and basically he was stuck to this pump. I don't know why. He was feeding, doing really, really good, feeding really well. Like I said, I feed this tank now twice a day. And yeah, there was no issues with him whatsoever. He was always feeding well. I actually had specific prawns for him, so I used to give him a prawn like literally every other day, and he was fine. He was chunky. There was no problems whatsoever when I pulled him out the tank. No signs of stress or illnesses or anything like that. He was just, I mean, in fact, I think when I pulled him out, I think he died literally that day. And I just not seen, because he was, you know, obviously quite soft. He wasn't stiffed or anything like that, and no cleanup crew had got onto him. So yeah, I don't know really what was going on there, to be fair, but nevertheless, he's sadly gone. The other fish are all doing pretty good, but that just gets me going to really think about getting more fish, maybe more, you know, add them all at the same time, because when I do add them singly, then the clownfish do tend to go for them. I think the only reason he never went for the lionfish was because I think they can sense that they're poisonous, so I think that was the only reason why. But nevertheless, I think we do need to get some more fish in this tank, and yeah, we'll go from there. So we're gonna keep a lookout and see where we go. But like I said, I have put an order in for my tang. I am getting a Tamini tang, like I've said before. Definitely getting that one, but I'm just waiting on a good size. I want a good large one rather than a smaller ones, because I think, like I said, the clownfish will just go at them, and I just can't afford to keep losing, you know, money for the fish dying and stuff like, get stressed and dying. So I need to make sure that it's a large fish, and then hopefully I can add a few fish at the same time, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that's one disaster. The second one, which I was nearly crying about, to be honest, guys, if you remember, this scully was over here. No problems whatsoever, looked really good there, to be fair. I came down, I came back from work, and this torch, I tipped over, and it was actually in the actual scully. Now, needless to say, I didn't even think about what I had in my hands. I just jumped, got into the tank and pulled it. But as you can see, this little head here, not doing too good. It's still alive, but that got stung, and my scully was absolutely stung to death. How the hell it actually recovered, I do not know. God knows, I really don't know how it actually recovered, but it did recover. And yeah, it was basically, it was a miracle how it actually survived. So I basically moved it back to where it doesn't get stung. And yeah, that was about maybe a week ago, and it's started to heal up. So we've got a bit of a space there, which I don't know what I'm going to do. I then put it too close to there in case it tipped over again. I don't know whether something was burying, or whether you know, those big trochus snails were actually burying themselves under and knocked over. I don't know, but yeah, that was on its back. And needless to say, I went to panic stations and yeah, got it out. But all have survived, so that's the main thing. And you know, we're just going to leave that space open for the time being, or maybe I move, you know, something like this Monty here there. Might even move the Monty, to be fair, put that over there. And yeah, because you know, at the end of the day, Monties, it's not too bad. They're not really expensive, but you know, and that one will have quite a bit of space to grow into. So I might move that there, to be fair. And that was the second one. The third one is I came down at the weekend, and I kept on. My missus says that there's your tank's beeping. Now there's only one. Well, there's only two beeps that it could be, and one is the temperature, and the second one would have been the clarity. Now when I came down, I knew that it was the clarity, so I had a look, stripped it down, took it out, stripped it, seen what was going on, and basically, I think the motor has actually gone. I did contact them. And basically, I looked at the terminals. The terminals were all connected. But what was happening, guys, as you can see, terminals are all connected there. So it's definitely wasn't that. I don't actually know whether the actual motor has burnt out. But what happened is, you want to just keep an eye on it if you do get it. Is the blue and the red light were both going off at the same time, alongside an audible alarm for 5 times. It went off 5 times. Now that, when I checked up on it, on the forums, on the guide, was basically saying that it was something, it could have something to do with the motor, and that maybe water or salt creep had got into it. To clear it out and you know, try it again, reboot it, restart it, and try it again. Now I did that, to no avail, nothing happened. So I contacted them, a guy called Rob. He was quite helpful. He got onto it, let me know what it could be, and basically I knew that what it was going to be. To be fair, that it had something to do with that, because it wasn't anything to do with the power supply, because the power supply was working. When I took this red point out of it, the red part, when I took that out, and I kept the black one in, when I pressed the roll button, none of the alarms came, none of the audible alarms came on. It was only when I added that back into it that basically what happened was the audible alarm came on, and it kicked in as if it was that there was a fault. So it's got something to do with that motor, which I'm assuming is it's obviously faulty. So what I'm having to do now, there's my dog just walked in. So what I'm having to do now for the time being is I'm having to cut the roll off until I get the new one. And I've got it, not got it fully closed, I've got it slightly open. I'm trying to put my finger there so you can see. It's slightly open, about a quarter of the way. And I'm just rolling it on manually, just pulling it through manually like that for the time being. And then when it gets a bit thicker, I'll just cut that off until the other one comes. So it's going a manual process at the moment, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. We'll have to make do with that for the time being. But like I said, a few issues have gone on. God knows, it's just seems to be all negative at this moment in time with this tank. Other than obviously the corals and stuff doing really good. Like I said before in the past videos, really undecided as whether to strip this down, completely gut it and start again with a new tank. Obviously going to be expensive first, to be fair, so I'll have to persuade the missus. But if I did do that, then it'll be a while anyway, because of she'd want to decorate in the house first, and I wouldn't want to get, you know, in the way of that for sure. But like I said, so far so good with the tank. Tank's doing well. I've cleaned the pumps out as well. Sorry, the two vortex, I've cleaned them out. This, I'm waiting on some citric acid. I've ordered some citric acid to come, and then once that arrives from Amazon, then we'll get that. Sorry, not Amazon, from eBay. Then once I get that, then we'll stick that in, and we'll go from there, and we'll clean this pump. But overall, guys, other than that, we're getting good surface agitation. I didn't mention before, I only mentioned about my alkalinity. Like I said, my calcium was pretty low, my magnesium was low. But apart from that, everything else, guys, is doing super stable. Nitrates were only 8.8. Phosphates was 0.06. So that dropped, I think it was 0.08. I'm running no roll phos or anything like that, and like I said, I'm feeding twice a day in the tank. So we're everything's going really good apart from the issues I've had. Now I'm only down to what, 5, 6, 7 fish now. So yeah, I think I need to add some more fish into the tank. My missus actually said when you lie down on the couch here, which is just here, when you lie down, all you basically see is just corals, you know, going into the evening because the fish are either getting ready to go to bed and yeah, took it up for the night. So I think I definitely need to add some more fish into the tank and get that up and running. But I'm just, like I said before, I get so knocked off when they, you know, when especially the clownfish, when they bully them, and you know, the fish go into hiding, and sometimes you just never see them again. And you know that they're dead, and you just can't keep wasting money just paying out and paying out, you know, because these fish are not cheap. You know, you're paying out 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds and upwards. You know, it's just expensive for them to just basically be bullied and then for them to die. So I tried my best, but it is what it is. Well, hopefully guys, you enjoyed the video. Fingers crossed, everything apart from the this will go well, and hopefully your tanks are doing well. So once again guys, really appreciate you following. Click the like button, it really helps the channel out. And until next time guys, I'll see you soon. Take care.